Born in Preston. I'm 56 now.
God damn, you look good.
And I'm Lainey Robinson. I'm Kyle's mum.
This is Carl's mum. So for those who don't know, Carl's mum is my best mate's mum. All right, who's sadly no longer with us. So we're going to be talking about Carl today. But you've got her a gift, haven't you?
We've got you a gift, Lainey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So with all our guests, we always give you a gift.
Oh.
Just a little bit of talk of appreciation.
Thank you.
For coming on.
Yeah.
So there's
Thank
a little
you so
voucher
much.
for you to get some.
I'm going to use it as a fan.
Maybe some
There you go.
yeah.
Drop the bass.
Oh yeah, I didn't even ask you before. Where are the vouchers? Who the two?
It's for Hannah Aesthetics.
Oh,
so in Fulham.
so you
What are you trying to say now?
got-
You? I need work doing.
You got the link up. He's got the
Thanks.
link up.
Yeah,
He's got the link
yeah.
up. Yeah. So obviously for the people who know Carl, obviously know how funny he was, how amazing he was. He's here. It was just like unique. It was like a Viking, didn't it? But he was on the screen. Another bit of context. Carl was one of the first creators as well of the Tats and Bants. It was called.
Yeah.
The original logo's behind us there. So Carl was the other original host, and then sadly he passed away just over a year ago, was it?
Yeah.
So unexpected, and we're going to talk about Kyle, his life, what he was about, how funny he was, and then building up to obviously to the sad events that we're fighting through. But yeah, we'll get there. So hit us up. What was he about?
Oh, well, where do I start? He was born on 1st of November. He was a solid £8 baby.
£8, is that big?
You try pushing it out.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Because you pick up an 8 kg and you go like that, don't you?
Yeah,
Like, shit,
yeah.
Yeah.
So is that known as being a big for a baby?
It's above average, but
Okay.
it was.
It's a good healthy baby.
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Can't believe you basically popped out an 8 kg dumbbell.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
£8, not kg.
Oh,
Yeah,
pound.
£8, right.
Yeah.
But imagine a baby that comes out and it's like that long,
Yeah.
chunky.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He was chunky, weren't he, though?
very, very. But he was born on 1st of November. I was a single mum. Had a rough time. I don't even call him his dad because he's not. He's a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Flash forward to like last year to when Kyle passed away. Was the first time I'd seen his dad or sperm donor in 34 years.
Wow.
And expected me to welcome him with open arms and his missus, and it was like I just stood there and froze, and I was like, "Wow, I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
Well, I lived with Carl. I was his best friend for a long time. I think I've maybe spoke to him once, like something like that, when he died, but I'd never heard him mention him. So
No.
To be fair, I never even thought about him. To be fair, but
No.
yeah.
No.
So
So Carl was a Libra then. Star sign, is he a Libra?
No,
Is he
Scorpio.
Oh, no, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Bad sting in his tail.
yeah. So he's young. You were raising him by yourself. What was he like as a kid, as a child?
As an infant,
yeah.
he was a good boy. But as a single mum, I lived in Moor Lane Flats.
Yeah.
Me and him, and I used to put him in pram. Excuse me. Used to put him in pram. And my mum used to have a pub on Meadow Street, and I used to go to work at my mum's pub. But I used to take him with me, and then his granddad would babysit upstairs in the pub while I was working, and then I'd put him back in the pram and take him back home.
Yeah.
And that went on for a long time.
I never knew you worked in a pub.
Yeah. I first lived on. I think it's called. Is it called Sinai or something on Ribbleton Lane? It's a big restaurant. It used to be Fox and Grapes.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was the first pub I ever lived in. I was 4.
Right.
And then from there we went to the Fleece on Meadow Street.
Okay.
And then we'd only been in about 4 months, and then I lost my dad at 44. He had a heart attack. So my mum basically ran the pub for 16 years with her and me. And then Kyle came along. So yeah, it wasn't, growing up in 80s, it was tough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then he
And was there like any support back then? Was it how it is now?
My support came from my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you just back then, it was just a different way of life back then. You know, if your kid misbehaved, they got a fucking a slap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you do it, they're ringing social services on you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's how people dealt with bringing up children back then.
Yeah.
Like discipline.
Yeah, and
Was
then
Carl your only child, Lainey?
it was for 14 years.
Right.
And then I was married, and we had Bailey, his
Right.
brother, but there were 14 years between them.
Right.
So me and him were best friends for
Yeah.
that time, because it was just me and him.
All that time. Yeah.
Yeah. I met, well, he's my ex-husband now, but I met my ex-husband back then. And we all went to Australia. We'd been to Spain. We'd been all over with him. You know, he'd been to Australia twice, once with us and once with his grandparents. But he got to about, I think he was about 10, and he used to go to Holy Family Catholic school, and he just wasn't getting it in class, and you know, they was excluding him and not letting him join in and stuff, and he found it really tough. And then he got sent. It's not there anymore, but it used to be called Tutorial Centre on Cromwell Road, and which was a special school for bad children,
Right.
because the Holy Family didn't know how to deal with somebody like Kyle. So he went to this school, and it was horrendous, because when we'd gone to look round it, there was a child on the floor on restraining mats by two adults. And I'm thinking, Christ, they want to send my son here when he just needs some help, but not restraining.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was only there for about, I think it was about 4 months. He was there, and then the primary school started reintegrating him back into mainstream school. But what they was doing, he was at a special school in the morning and then going to a normal school in the afternoon. And he couldn't, for some reason, he just didn't get the rules. He couldn't swap over from one to another.
Yeah.
So then they did full days, and then by the time he'd finished, he was integrated back into a mainstream school. But the headmaster just didn't like us. It was like I were getting phone calls at work, and when the phone was ringing, I'm thinking, oh God, it's them again. They want me to go in. He's done something else, and it was just constantly going on.
Yeah. What were they ringing you, telling you about? That he's done?
Just that he was hyper. He's not getting on with the other children. Rules and regulations, because you know, Kylie was one of a kind, weren't he?
Was it a bit like a class clown kind of behaviour? Just having a bit of
Yeah,
banter,
yeah.
a bit. Yeah, that's what I was. That's very much similar to me. That.
Yeah.
A bit hyper. They couldn't.
Yeah.
They just couldn't kind of calm you down. But it's probably because they're not giving
They didn't know what. They didn't know what to do with him, because they'd never had a child like him before.
Right.
So the feeder school from the primary school was Our Ladies round the corner, but we wanted him to have a fresh start away from all of the people that he was associated with, all the rest of it. So we sent him to Ashton.
Right.
Well, by the time he got to Ashton, all the teachers already knew about Kyle, because the headmaster from the primary school had told them what he was like. So he already had a target on his back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was in there about 6-8 weeks. And when he first started high school, he was a proper heavyweight boy. He used to play rugby for Preston Grasshoppers for years, and so anyway, he was there about 6-8 weeks, and a few of the boys were teasing him about his size and, you know, mocking him and just being cruel to him, really. And one day, one of them said, "It's all right, we're going to get you after school." So his way of thinking was, I need to do something, so I get a detention. So what he'd done, the teacher was coming through the double doors, and Kyle's gone over and like took his pen out and thrown it.
Yeah.
So obviously straight away he's got in trouble, and they said, right, we're keeping you. And then fast forward to probably about another week, 2 weeks, this certain boy that was giving him loads of grief in school, Kyle had just had enough. They was in the playground, and this kid was having a go at him.
Yeah.
Next thing is, Kyle's got him in an headlock and rammed him headfirst into the wall, knocked him out, and then he got excluded for about 2 months or something.
Right.
So he just his school life just wasn't easy for him.
Yeah.
You know, everybody giving him different rules and regulations on what to do, and he did find it hard.
Yeah.
So he was then going into the inclusion unit for kids with special needs. And they pulled us to one side and said, if he's not careful and don't book his ideas up, he's not going to make it through first year, never mind 5.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, he started settling down. He did the 5 years, passed his exams, everything.
Wow.
And he went on to, he was going to Newman College to do sports and science, but at the time they'd stopped the course because there weren't enough going on it.
Yeah.
So he ended up going to Preston College and did sports and science there. Did really, really well again. Started playing basketball.
I'm going to say then, yeah, it was basketball, weren't it?
Yeah.
Just gone to Moor Park and have like games of basketball together. And he proper took, he like, you know, like them lads who actually think they're basketball players, you know, with the big massive tops on and that, and like they're doing all the dunks and wearing Air Forces and that.
That was Kyle.
So what I find a bit crazy there, ladies, like usually most kids when they go to like the high school is when the problems come more, but it seems like Carl's. What do you reckon? How's that changed?
Because in the high school they had the inclusion unit for children with like needing additional support, so they knew how to handle him and to deal with him, and he had it like very
one-to-one support.
But his day was very, very structured, and that's what he needed. He needed structure. So he basically finished school, went on to college, joined the basketball team. And he was that good. They took him on to what they call a PACE programme, which was performing and coaching of excellence. He was that good.
Wow.
He ended up on radio. I think it was BBC Lancashire he was on, talking about his basically through primary school, high school, it being bad, to him then going to college and getting on this PACE programme, and just how he turned his life around. And then he started working at the Ancient Hawk at Cotton. Started off as a pot wash and absolutely badgered his boss at the time, Lisa. I want to go in kitchens. I want to do some cooking.
Yeah.
So her husband Daz, he trained Kyle on grill how to cook, and he smashed it.
It was good having a mate on the grill though. I used to go around and then I'd get my plate, and then my steak would look like a normal meal. Then you lift my steak up on my chicken burger, and there'd be another chicken burger or steak underneath it. So we always got double whammy. And he just go out and wink at me like that. And I go, nice one. And both got like that. Oh mate, we're mad.
Well, you know, I can resonate with Kyle massively. Things that you were saying then. So when I was I was frustration. People just never used to understand me. And instead of I'm a little bit older than Kyle, but so I never ever from home all through school I never got the support. Didn't get my GCSEs. I was rather passed from pillar to post, went to 3 different schools and isolated a lot. They used to actually, I'd go into school in the morning and I'd start at a later time than other children, and then I'd be put into a classroom completely by myself, and they'd lock the door. Sometimes I'd be just isolated in a classroom.
That's a fire risk, that, isn't it?
Completely on my own. And then they'd come at dinner time and say, right, it's dinner time now, Sean, and then I'd go down to the headmaster's office and I'd sit with the headmaster and have my dinner.
Have your dinner? Yeah, they used to do that with him.
I wasn't even allowed into the playground and stuff, and it was like I've always excelled after school with everything I've ever done, just like you're saying with Kyle and stuff. We're just not, people aren't putting us on the correct path and giving us correct guidance.
I still think school is just a place where you send kids after they've learned English, maths and science, which you've got to, because we need them 3 ingredients for humanity. Not every kid becomes a scientist, not every kid, but we still do need, imagine if you knew the odds, how many kids a year globally do we need to actually become scientists? To go through university and stuff to keep like things about health, well-being, surgeons. Do you know what I mean? But for the rest of it, it's like, you're just in a building, aren't you?
It's nothing that they can't learn from 16
to your mates messing around. And then we've all got that one group of kids we have to avoid as well, because they'll like say a bully or give you grief. And then it's like, and you really think about high school, I spent a lot of time just walking around.
You're
just walking from room to room, really, innit?
Yeah, well, I wasn't allowed to.
You was like me. Thank God they weren't fire. I know. But I remember Carl. I always remember his yellow jersey. His yellow jersey. Still had it when we lived together. And then, Yeah, his Jordans were amazing. He used to sell a basketball, but it popped, and he kept that as well.
Yeah.
And his Jordans and stuff like that. So he's very sentimental. Is it sentimental? That's
Yeah,
the word for it?
I've
Yeah.
still got his Jordans.
He's still got his Jordans, yeah.
So as a child, then, what did Carl want to get up to? Then did he have any goals, aspirations to be?
Definitely a basketball player.
Yeah,
Right, basketball.
Yeah,
So
it was
always
definitely
sports.
always
Yeah.
sporty. Yeah. To be honest, it was that long ago when he were a kid. I can't put my finger on an exact thing that he wanted to do.
Yeah,
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember when he had left school before he started college. I was at work. I used to work on maternity unit at Sherry Green.
Right.
Gets a phone call. Mum, I think you need to come home. I went, why? What's gone on? He went, well, I've been smoking in my bedroom. He said, and I've dropped it on me, like his bed. Fucking bed was smoking and on fire, weren't it?
Oh, no.
So I had to leg it home on my
Yeah.
moped, call fire brigade out.
Yeah.
Back then we had the old windows where you could pull them right in, so it was like a massive window, or you could shut it and it tilted in at top. So we had to open the window, fucking chuck this mattress out that we're burning and smoking. And I went, have you been smoking? And he went, no, Mum, I don't know what I don't know what I've done. And I thought, you little lying git anyway. But yeah, he on his nights out when he got a bit older, he was just funny, man. Funny. Where we used to live, there was actually woods at the side of the house. He'd actually come home that night. He'd walk past the front door
Yeah.
and went into the woods at the side, took his jewellery off and everything,
Yeah.
and fell asleep in woods. And then later on, woke up, come back, got in bed. So then when we'd seen him, he'd still left his stuff outside, and he was in bed with like half a tree. So, but yeah, he was
Adventurous, yeah.
he was funny.
He was definitely funny.
Did he have children?
No.
Or a missus?
No.
No.
Well, we had a dog. We had a dog
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Rocco.
Rocco?
Yeah.
Rocco. Yeah, technically people know the Rocco's man and Carl's dog.
Right.
Yeah. It was
Right.
funny. He came. I'm getting a dog. And he came home, and we were just both on the floor going. Like, it was funny. And then we used to open our door. So our rooms in St. Tenerife Mill, it was really long, the entrance, wasn't it? So imagine a real long corridor, but his door faced mine. So we leave our doors open, and then Carl would go. We only found this out one night by messing around. Like, Carl just went randomly like, row, 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 row. And Rocco went, whoosh, you know what he does?
Yeah.
And barking into Carl's room, and he went, ah! And then I went, row, 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 row. And then Rocco went, row, and Rebecca was like, oh, mate, sometimes we do it all
really
night. Yeah. I remember, because his teeth
Brilliant.
were like little...
They were like razors,
little
weren't they?
razors. And when we used to lie on we'd lie on our sofas, and both sofas would be facing the wall like that, yeah? So we both had our own sofa in this big apartment. Then we'd have the projector screen on here. So we're watching Toy Story or playing whatever games. It was massive. And then he was in his cage. But then he got out of his cage. That was the first thing. I remember Carl were eating. He's the first person who made me eat him because I didn't like him at first. They're like a little, look like a little shell. What are they called again? So it's the different multicolours. You buy them in a pack. They're a toffee, a sweet, or like a cake, a dessert. And you get like pistachio flavour, banana flavour,
Right.
and it's all fluffy. And you eat it. It's got jelly in the middle.
know.
Oh, I don't know what they're called.
They sound good.
Oh, mate, I love it. And you used to get them from Aldi across the road, right? So we're sat there eating them. And Carl looked at me and he went, one day, he's going to be able to get on this sofa. And it was like a joke. So we'd be on the sofa safe going, you can't get us, you can't get it. Going, ow, ow.
Yeah, you're like Jaws, weren't you?
But it was like Jaws. He's like, when you nip me, you like. And then one day we were led there watching it with Toy Story. And then Carl go, and I look like that. He's on the sofa, and he's on Carl going, like, I was just savaging him to pieces, yeah, because he used to fight it. Yeah, funny, because Carl used to have boxing gloves, and he used to like fight him with his boxing gloves. I honestly think that dog is the way he is, maybe partly because of Carl. Yeah, and it was crazy.
He's got Carl's like nature.
Yeah, and now he's just bloody a big, massive tank in it.
Yeah.
It was funny. So yeah, so he basketball, he's worked at the Ancient Oak, was it?
Yeah, he worked
Really?
at Ancient Oak. Then he worked up at what's the one at Bamber Bridge near motorway.
Oh, on the corner.
Yeah.
When he had the football on, I can't remember what it's called.
He used to work there, but he never knew how to drive.
Next to
he
Shell
never,
Garage.
Yeah, he never wanted to drive. So wherever he went on his push bike. So when he got put on breakfast, he had to be at work for like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
From our house up to Bamber Bridge.
Wow.
So yeah. It was he was hard working. So
So it's a graft. They put the shift in,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
an early start for chefs. It's not an easy job, is it? In
No.
the kitchen all day.
no, not at all.
No.
But and then he started getting tattoos. I think he got his first one at 16. I don't know what the frigging hell it was. It was just on his shoulder, and I was like, yeah, it looks nice. That I'm thinking, no, it looks awful.
He had a weird eye for tattoos, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just like, I can't. What was that one here? I'm sure he had it gone over as well. It was like a wolf or something or something.
I don't know.
It was something anyway, but I think he had it gone by the time. He had it gone over that many times.
Yeah.
He even ended up getting. He had like a samurai mask on his belly. On his head, he had. Is it a lion on his head?
No, it looked like chain links, didn't it?
No, but I mean, when he got his top of his head done, yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a lion on his head, and then he had the barber here, the barber's cutthroat here above his eye. He had a AK-47 somewhere on his leg.
Yeah.
He's a double of you, lady.
It was crazy.
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. There's no no denying he's your son anyway.
Yeah.
He's the double.
And his chest was his main piece. It was like
it was a dragon.
Yeah, and then the dragon, but it was massive.
Yeah, it was all coloured.
It's all coloured in as well, red,
Yeah.
different colours. So the pain must have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he started getting his first tattoos when he was 16, you say?
Yeah.
And then they led on from there.
Yeah, went on from there.
And then I remember when he shaved his head properly, like not like older. I mean, when we were young and we were outside, because behind the spa now on Lane Ends, behind the houses there now, aren't they? But it used to be this weird little car park that no one had parking. Don't remember that?
Yeah.
And that's where like you'd all
Where the doctors is?
Yeah, you'd meet. Remember that car park there? Everyone randomly meet there, wouldn't they? And he turned up with this bald head, and everyone was like, "Yo, you shaved your head." He was like,
big ticks.
Yeah, properly. And was like, "Whoa," because he had all his hair then, and he just suited it so much. I remember he was sat. He
does suit it, doesn't he?
He had two girls. I can't remember the name, left and right of him, and he was like up with them both. Like, and I was like, bloody hell.
So you two same age, same year?
Yeah.
School, did you go to school together?
No. We just knew each other at nights and then obviously later on in life.
Yeah.
But and in the gym constantly.
Did Kyle never do any of the MCing?
No,
No.
we're into that. Kyle's music. God, I don't even think you put a label on it.
You
It could be within my car going, "Feed them to the lions," and we're dancing to rave music, going to a festival, and then next minute it'll be like, "Baby, them lads don't." Well, you know what I mean. And then there was no.
Yeah, there was loads of different genres that he liked.
I mean, you could look at him and think he was a Viking or that kind of guy, especially that's his beard low.
Yeah.
His beard at one point was like
really long, yeah.
And you'd think like, oh, it's definitely a Mosher or an emo or something.
Yeah.
But then like when we were together, we were listening to grand music, MCing in RS, going bang, 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 like two chavs. So there's no.
It was brought up on garage and R&B.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah.
But then as he started venturing out, that's when his music started changing. But it's like it's like a mosh pit music. I don't know what it's called, but he was into all that as well.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. So it weren't just like dance, like music or like country music. It was proper hardcore.
And then he'd left home and moved out a couple of times with girlfriends. It didn't work out, so he'd come back home. And then he'd come home. First thing he'd do, he'd sort Fen out, which was his dog. And then he'd start tidying up, and Tennessee Whiskey had always come on, and that's why I had it played at his funeral. Because as soon as he come home and he put that on, I'd just sit in and listen to him singing. So, but yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So this is a weird thing without lockdown, is that loads of people suffered, but me and Cal had the best time ever.
Yeah.
We were partying, we were getting money, because obviously we had like the rights to the government support, whatever it was. We had you bringing us food round. We had, oh my God, we had Rocco. We lived inside, if you don't know what Centenary Mill is, it's like a big multi...
Well, it's the old weaving mill, isn't it?
But they're all apartments. Yeah. So we're all in there, and we're like, we just had everyone turned into a big family, and then we were doing our John Wick videos every day. So our social medias became like quite big.
Quite
People
popular.
were watching us, and stuff like that.
But you was getting up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, weren't you?
John Wick,
to do videos.
John Wick,
and that.
to make sure we stayed fit, and then we're eating like kings.
Joe Wicks.
Oh, John Wick, shit, yeah, shit. Like John Wick, shit.
I was thinking the same.
We weren't that fit, though. We weren't that fit. So we were doing the trick shot where we had the boat like a we bought a snooker table.
I was just going to say, because I remember I went and picked the snooker table up for you.
Yeah, we had a
then you had the bloody
table.
weights,
Then we had weights bench. We had all that. We had like a gym.
Yeah.
We had the videos. We had like the best projector ever because of my work.
It was about 100
inch.
Yeah.
It was that big, my projector on the wall, because the walls were that big in that apartment. The guy who runs the apartments came past one day and he looked and went, "Oh my god!" And he took a picture and used that to like sell the apartments.
Right.
Like, this is what you can do. How big the walls are in there. We had that. The videos. I can't. How mad's that? COVID for me for nearly a year or over a year was just fantastic.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
It was so fun.
But even like doing your roller coaster rides.
Oh, the roller coaster ride, yeah. I'm gonna have. Oh, have you got that?
I think I've got it somewhere. Yeah,
We'll have to find it, try and put on the video. So we got the projector and it was that big. I sat on the sofa. Carl held the camera and we looked, and it looked
like there was going on
moving.
Yeah.
So we're
Then you did one when you was in a rave, didn't you?
Yeah, the rave one. Yeah. Then we did your birthday party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was like. It was just mental.
So what year would that have been? Like 2020, was
2019.
it? 2019.
And then obviously we moved into that,
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier.
Well, lockdown. I turned 50 in lockdown.
Yeah, because we lived together before lockdown, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think about in 2018, moved into 2000 because it was summer. We had 2019. We had our first Christmas together. I remember putting a Christmas tree up. We got Rocco. And then it was that year that COVID hit, the year after.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was just crazy. But again, I could keep going for days. We both had PlayStations.
Yeah.
We had the internet. We was right next door to our best mate.
You had what you needed.
Yeah.
We had what we needed.
Some people did thrive in lockdown, didn't they? And they enjoyed it.
I just painted
sadly
fences.
some people never did.
Yeah.
I carried on working. To be honest, I signed up for NHS responder, so I was going out doing all that. Responder like shopping for the elderly and stuff.
That's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah.
But and then I did start working something like 8 months in, where like the police did this thing where I could do my school talks live, didn't they, from my laptop. So I had my laptop, the speakers, and I'd like the little me used to come on the screen like the weatherman. So it was weird. I had to go to a studio where it was all green, green screen.
Yeah.
So I was doing this to this stack TV like that, so I could see where I was pointing. And I'd go, "Which knife out of this list would you choose?" Like I do my presentation.
Yeah. Well, nothing
there was no there. So I was like, having to look like that. So I could press play. I think we were in about 150 classrooms throughout lockdown, so I still managed to have a slight bit of an income coming in as well.
Yeah.
And again, it just went on. God, me and Carl, we ate pasta, croutons.
Yeah.
Croutons. I think that's what they're called. Is that what you said?
Croutons.
Yeah. I mean, actually, now you said croutons before.
They're not croutons, but we'll call
They're not
them
croutons. Oh,
croutons are what you put in salad. Croutons not sweet.
Oh yeah, croutons are a hard thing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah,
Dry
not
bread,
croutons. Yeah, not croutons. And then, we were just eating like kings. Drinking like kings.
Yeah.
It was
partying like kings.
Yeah.
Partying
Sounds like
like
the right time.
getting bit to death like kings. It was just brilliant, and these videos we were making. And then the time of all times comes. Obviously, by the end of it, we're both pissing each other off. I weren't cleaning this good enough. He weren't cleaning that good enough.
Like a married couple.
It served its purpose, but at the same time, if I could go back and relive all that, and then know. Do you know what it is when you live with my dad? When I remember my dad when I was a kid, used to living with who I used to call Uncle Jeff.
Yeah.
And that was the best part of my childhood with my dad, because it was all partying and stuff like that. And I remember my dad moving out of Jeff's. Then you've got other friends that live together, and you go back to their house and party like, you two living the life, or we should be single. Then they move out, and you always think, why does these relationships always end? And they have to move somewhere else. It's because you just eventually you realise
you outgrow
4
I
years.
think you outgrow that.
You outgrow that
Yeah.
environment, and it's not that. Then it becomes. Me and Carl had a bit of a fallout at one point over it, and then literally, as soon as he moved into his new flat, we were back streaming again, and we were here every day when the screen. We were talking again every single day. So
Sometimes you just need a break.
it just factory
don't you?
resetted
Even
itself, yeah.
from your own family, mums, dads. You can spend too much time with anyone, can't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I know, because if I say like, I'll go back and do it all again now, but then we'll just fall out anyway over something, because it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But then he moved to Southport, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because
Dan opened a shop in Southport, and Kyle was a manager.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why he moved. I hated it that he moved.
I hated it. As much as he was a manager, how many times me and Ray used to say, we wish you were up there. Because it'd be out with us all the time. Like, we were with each other all the time. And that job took him away from us.
It did, and it isolated him to a point as well.
Yeah.
Even though everybody said, like, he was this superb person. He was always there to offer help and advice and bear hugs and piercings, and to a point he was still lonely, because it said to you, didn't he, about wanting to come back home.
Yeah.
And it just never happened.
Yeah.
So
He also said, I'll never forget it. It's just the way that been online with him, and he were doing this like that, and he was white. He was Dulux white, like pasty white, and he went, "Oh lads, I'm on that, but I won't be on for longer. I've just took a day off work." And we said, "Why?" And he said, "Oh, I've had heart pain all day and all night, kept me up all night." And we was like, "What?" So me, Ray, and Kyle was, if like, people used to think we were going to fight, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was that violent the way we talked to each other, but it would laugh. It was love, and it was funny. So there was never a time where, if Carl even went, "Oh, I've got a promotion," or "I've done this," or even if he won the lottery, we go, "You're this, that," or it was minging, but we loved it, didn't we? It's like our way out, the way me and Ray are now. There is not a day where we don't say wish death on each other, but it's only because we love each other. We're funny. So when we had them little breaks, which me and Ray still have now, where just for 20 seconds Ray go, "Whoa, what did you just say? Shit, you feeling alright, bro? Put the jokes out," or vice versa. Then you know you're your best mates, innit?
Yeah.
And then me and Ray, because we're all on live when the TV used to be there, and then we went, whoa. We went, "What?" He went, "Take a fucking day off work tomorrow." And he went, "He can't, because obviously he's isolated. He's got to pay his rent. If he don't pay his rent, he can't live there."
Yeah.
So, and he was like, no, I can't. I've already had one day off work. And then lo and behold, was it, what, 2 or 3 days later, something like that? Was it a week later?
No, it was a couple of weeks later. Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, and it was his heart. But me and Ray had already told him, please have a day off work and go to hospital and get checked.
So had he not been to hospital at all?
He had one day off because he didn't sleep, but then because obviously he didn't get paid, I don't think he got paid for being...
No, I didn't
get paid being off work, self-employed. So he
works 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So is it something, because you said, was it your dad who had a problem? Is it like hereditary?
My dad was 44.
Yeah.
And then Kyle was 36.
Yeah.
And I've got identical twin grandsons.
Right.
And one of them had heart problems. So I had to go to Liverpool Heart Hospital.
Yeah.
And so are we going to go into what happened last year, right? So basically, there was a knock at my door, and it was about 10 to 12 at night.
Yeah.
And so I looked out my bedroom window, and it was police. And Bailey went, "Who's that?" And I went, "It's police." And he went, "Fucking hell, I've got some weed in my bedroom." I went, "Oh, shut up." So I thought, if I don't answer the door, they'll go away.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. So I thought, fucking hell, I'm going to have to go down. So I went down, opened door, and this policeman was stood there, and he went, "Is it Elaine Robinson?" And I said, "Yeah." And he just said, "Oh, I'm PC," whatever his name was. "Do you know a Carl Robinson?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my son, why?" No word of a lie, just went, "Well, sorry to tell you, but he's died." No, like, comfort, no emotion, no support, nothing.
Wow.
And by this time, Bailey was at top of stairs. He'd all fell down the stairs because he was in shock.
Bailey is his younger brother.
Yeah. And I was like, "What?" And he went, "He's in Southport General." Got in his car and went. And I was like, wow. So by this time, Bailey had rung his dad. His dad and his wife live a few doors away from where we do. So his dad's come round. In the meantime, I've rung my brother. My brother's come round. Bailey's then rung his best friend Dan. Dan come round, and it just felt like it wasn't happening to me.
Yeah.
They couldn't tell me what had happened until I got there. So we drove over to Southport General, and it felt like it were a lifetime getting there.
That was me who drove you there, didn't you, innit? Yeah. So I drove you there, didn't I?
No, my brother took me.
Or did you go first?
Yeah, okay. I went first, yeah. So we eventually get to the hospital, and thinking, obviously at the time you don't realise what you're doing, but when I think back now, all I did was like I pushed through doors, and I was like, "Where's my son? I've been told my son's here." Then they took us through to a side room, me, Bailey, and Dan, and my brother. And she just said, "Right, he's through here," and everybody just went, "I'm not going." So I had to do it on my own. So they opened the door, and he was on the hospital bed. He was still in his gym stuff. He still had his boots on and all the rest of it. But his shirt had been cut because when it actually collapsed in the gym in Southport, they just said basically he'd been training, doing his circuits or whatever, and then he was on the punching bag. And they've said on the video, when they've looked at it, he's been punching. He's literally took one step back and just gone, dropped on floor.
Wow.
So then they've worked, the staff and people, the public, they worked on him for about 30 minutes, with giving him, heart pumps and stuff like that and whatever. And then ambulance come, then they took over working on him. But then they've got these new machines now where they put it on you.
The defib kind of machine, is it? Where
no, they did the
it pumps for you.
It pumps for you, so you don't have to pump. This machine does it for you. So he'd already had the defib on him.
Yeah.
They give him loads of different drugs, and then they put this machine on him. And then when they put that on him, they took him to Southport, and there was just no response. But when I'd gone in to see him, and it just looked like he were asleep. Just closed his eyes and gone asleep. And I just couldn't stop touching him. Yeah. I was kissing him, I was hugging him. And when I looked at his claws, I thought, oh, they're ripped. So when I've had a look, the machine had been working on him that hard, it actually split his skin and left an imprint on it. So it was just awful feeling. Yeah. And then Bailey must have asked to come round, so Bailey come in. He was just absolutely devastated.
Yeah.
And he just said, "I don't want to touch him." I said, "Well, you don't have to touch him." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was still, as if he was still alive. I was still giving him a hug and a kiss and whatever. And then from that, because it was a bank holiday weekend as well, so he was in Southport General on his own, and obviously we left then and we had to come home, and my world just ended. It was just awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah, because I was in bed, weren't I? I was all that happening, and then my ex-partner was up, and I was like, why is she up? And it was sort of like, what's she doing on her phone? But I was knackered, so I stayed in bed. And we're together, obviously, in bed. And then she started nudging me a bit, and she was going, Byron, upset. And you know what, I'm not going to lie, the first thing I thought, the last time I was in bed with a girl, and she nudged me, and I could hear the nails on the phone, like that.
Messaging.
I thought she was going to accuse me of cheating on her. Because
Right.
when I look back being a kid, the last time I was like early 20s and I cheated on a girl, that's what you get. Yeah. Sunday, what have you done? What have you done? And I remember led there and I was going, I ain't cheated on her.
Yeah.
But it got getting worse and worse, and like I could hear her like agitated. So I thought, what the fuck, boy? I was scared. So I rolled over, I looked at her, and she just waited for me to wake up. She didn't want to wake me up. She went, I've been scared to wake you up. And she went, it's Kyle. I know, what you know about? It's Kyle. What do you mean? She went, he's in hospital. I think he's dead. Yeah. So I just burst out crying. I was going, no, it's not real, it's not real. So I'm getting dressed. And obviously I come round to yours, didn't I?
Yeah.
I knocked on the door and then I got it confirmed, yeah.
So you said before that he'd had these problems a couple of weeks before online. If I mean, obviously we don't know, but if he was to have gone to a doctor, is it maybe like you could have a stent or anything? Is it that kind of stuff?
No, because obviously whether he was unwell and he had an infection or something which was causing the pain, I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, because he died so young and unexpectedly, they had to do a post-mortem on him.
Yeah.
So that absolutely battered my head, thinking, God, they're going to cut my son
when
up.
you said that.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
I went, I don't want him cut open. And they just said, you don't have a choice. So they did an autopsy on him, which, well, for any parents, it's not nice. But when they did the autopsy, they took 7 different samples from 7 parts of his body. Like his liver, his kidney, his spleen, his brain, his heart, whatever it was. And what they'd done is they kept them to one side, and they'd actually said to me, can we keep them for training purposes? And I said, yeah, that's fine. So what they'd done from them samples is they'd stored them, and then because nothing showed up on them samples at the time, so he'd no drugs in his system, there was no caffeine, there was no nothing, there was no nicotine in his system or anything, because he'd been in gym. They said, we have to send his heart off to Harley Street in London. So that's what they did. So even though he passed away on like the 17th of April last year, I didn't get his heart back. I think it was about August last year. Wow. So even though he had his cremation, he didn't have his heart with him. So anyway, cut long story short, we got his heart back, went to the funeral directors, they cremated it for me. So I've got his ashes and his heart together now, you know, and his thing. But what the best way that they could explain it to me about these samples is that each sample is like a library book, is like a book from A to Z, and they have to test every single thing, like the genetics and the strains, and was there any disease in it, was there this, was there that. And she said it's like these 7 samples are like 7 books in a library. So they've got, each one had to be pulled off and gone through each page, if you will, of each sample. So that's why it took so long. But even though they factored in my dad passing away young, now Kyle, you know, my grandsons, I'd started getting heart flutters, and I was getting up to go to the toilet at night, and I was passing out. I'd wake up on the floor, and I'm thinking, something's not right here. So then they sent me to Liverpool Heart Hospital. They did tests on me, and I've had like ECGs and portable blood pressure monitors, and I've had loads of tests done, and each time the equipment is taken off me, it then starts again. So they've not been able to catch what I'm trying to tell them, that like it's like a flutter, and then all of a sudden it's like it's trying to catch up with itself, and then like I get like a massive surge of like blood going through. It's weird to explain. So in 2 weeks' time, I'm having a loop recorder inserted into my chest that will constantly monitor my heart and my rhythm and track everything. And there'll be an app that I can put on my phone. And so when I feel these things, it'll show up. Whereas like other equipment has not been able to catch it, because like if you go to a hospital and you get an ECG, it's only on about 30 seconds. So they're not picking it up. You know, or the other heart monitors have not picked it up. And I'm thinking, this is not just in my head. Do you know what I mean? There's something going on, so that's why they're doing all that.
So with the post-mortem, Lenny, is that because of like is the police who want to do that in case it's like there's been some, do you know, like
because it was so sudden.
suspicious circumstances. If you're saying you don't want it, and they see it on camera,
it's because of his age, because he was a fit young 36-year-old.
Yeah.
He was training in the gym. There was no signs apart from that time when he wasn't feeling too good.
Yeah.
And I remember when he told me about it, and I'd said to him, look, just go to hospital. Well, I will do, but I'll have to go to work first. I'll probably have to go on Sunday or something. Yeah. So it was a constant thing. He was constant
under pressure
because he was always working.
Yeah.
So his life was like 9 till 5:30 in the shop. Then he'd go home and sort Fen out. And then he'd go back past his works to go to the gym. And he was in the gym about 5 nights a week, weren't he?
And then 8 o'clock we'd all come back together and we'd all be on streaming till 10, 12 o'clock at night every night.
So what did the post-mortem say then? Like, is it like heart failure or?
No, he basically had a cardiac arrest in the gym.
Right.
But this is why they had to do the autopsy to see if there was drugs or there was malfunction in his heart or something, do you know what I mean, to cause this.
Because he's never struggled like through his childhood or when it has anything like chest pains.
No, not that I can recall.
And I've never heard him in all the years saying heart pains, part by that one night.
Yeah. So
what did he call his death again? You said it before, was it?
It's actually because he'd nothing in his system and his heart was of normal size. There was no heart disease, no nothing. He was perfect.
Yeah.
They put it down to SADS, which is sudden adult death syndrome. So it's like a cot death in an adult. You've no warning. You don't know what's happening. The only saving grace I've got from what happened to him is it happened instantly. So one, he wouldn't have known because he stepped back and he'd gone.
Yeah.
So. And he wouldn't have felt anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only comfort I can take from him.
Yeah.
You know, it's been hard. And then obviously Byron did Kyle's eulogy.
Yeah.
God, that was horrible, wasn't it? Jesus. I made like a PowerPoint on his life, and I haven't cried that hard since my brother's funeral.
Yeah.
So it was, and that's nearly 12 years.
Yeah.
And when you only cry at certain times in your life that bad, like when you lose a mum or a dad, or you people who mean something to you that much.
Yeah.
God, that was bad, wasn't it? It made us laugh though, didn't it?
Yeah. So first one to die is gay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at his funeral, right? Yeah. And on his speech at the end, I said, "First one to die is gay."
Yeah.
Trust you.
Yeah. But the crematorium was just absolutely packed out. There was hundreds and hundreds of people there. And as the car approached the crematorium and everybody was stood there, me and Bailey got out. And we held hands and we walked him to his final place. But it was just
2 times you carried someone's coffin.
What's scary is how fit he was and how perfect. Well, he's young, he's fit, he's perfect. As Lenny said, there was no drugs in his system or anything like that. It just goes to show how precious life is.
It is. It is. Tomorrow's never promised to anyone. Because you never know what's around that corner. You know what I mean?
It's bad, because like every day you get so used to seeing someone and giving each other grief, and all our group chats went that quiet. All the fingers went quiet.
You didn't get him for a long time, did you?
Oh yeah. Well, this room was meant to be the new studio, and then I did not come in here for about 6 months. Well, in fact, when I first came back in here, it had that like smell of old building, you know, because no one had been in here.
Yeah.
And then I was driving to work one day and I was listening to a podcast and I rung T, didn't I? And I went, right, that's it. Carl won't want me to be miserable. Boom, let's get the studio built. And we started it.
Yeah.
And then now it's become like this massive thing, this TikTok, even the TikTok, like I've got a massive TikTok family now. Me and you are doing it now.
Yeah.
You're like taking over the reins from Carl, and it's going well in it. And and you're doing well, and you're just in your first one
Yeah.
as well, your first actual show. You watched it, didn't you?
Yeah.
What do you think he did? He did well.
Excellent,
For his
yeah.
first ever time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
It's difficult. I've thought about this myself, and I've thought about Laney, because it's like not that you, how do you word it? It's not that you're replacing somebody, but at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't be sat here now. Kyle should be sat here. Do you know what I mean? And it's very difficult. It's difficult, more difficult for Laney, but it's just a sad situation for everybody involved in that. I feel that as well. Do you know what I mean?
The weird thing
I do
is as
feel
well,
that.
right? So when my brother died, I was lost for years and years and years, right? And I was a fucking right arsehole, like cheating on girls, going out, doing drugs, whatever. And I always used to say, right, that the bodybuilding changed my life, which it did. You know,
Yeah.
I went to the gym every single day. Me and Carl went to the gym. Carl was there when I did my first bodybuilding show, you know, like when we were in the gym together every day. And I used to think it was that, but it wasn't until I met Ray. You know Ray, don't you? Who I call my little brother.
Yeah.
And then Ray instantly started then having, because he was so lost himself, Ray then started, obviously his parents were all involved, we all came. Ray started coming around to see me and Kyle after work, you know, after hours, because he was like being role models to him. Now Ray's literally, even his mum says he's like, I'm his brother.
Yeah.
You know, he's all fine. So I've got a brother relationship now with Ray, even though I've got a dead brother.
Yeah.
And then when Carl died, I had Ray all along, and then when I started this up, you randomly came around and jet washed, and I went, fuck me, he's dancing in it, he's Asda.
Yeah.
Carl would be laughing at that. And
Yeah,
I was like doing this pondering. Remember when I asked you, I went, just ask you. You know, you seem a bit crazy like us. Would you do a podcast? And you went, I'll come around and see you.
Yeah.
And now we're doing fucking mad videos.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it was actually like the week for Carl's anniversary when we started chatting, and
I didn't even put two and two together.
I sat and spoke about, and I honestly feel like Carl's he's made it happen.
Yeah.
He's still part of this massively.
Yeah.
Because remember, I was going to
100%.
cancel the podcast because I can't. You just can't afford it.
No.
I can't.
And I think that week when they didn't turn up, I think that's him messing
and
around with
then
winding
I
you up.
had so many list of people that wanted to do it, and I'm like, we need to. I can't let this fail. We've got to do it. You know what I mean? You know, Carl's everywhere. Look, he's there. We've got Carl's. Like, I call it Carl's heart. Brothers love there. Me and Kyle. He's everywhere in this room.
He's even on your body.
Yeah, Carl's belt. Carl here.
Yeah.
Carl's toys. I've got him tattooed. I've got him tattooed on my face. You know what I mean? That's how much I loved him.
Yeah.
And then. Just that coincidence that you came round, and I was in here, and I was talking to Babs, you know, your partner TikTok, and I'm like, everyone had Babs, Hannah, Chris, and Ray, and they're all like, "What's up with you? Just launched a podcast." I'm like, I can't, because we've got a professional producer. We need to pay this. I need to pay that. I need more mics. I'm at my wit's end, and I'm like this, and then I'm like, he's coming to jet wash my yard. He's doing mad funny videos.
Yeah.
I've known him years. His sound is out. He's not got bad, but I'm going to ask him. And I did. And now you're here, innit? How sick is that, brother?
Yeah.
Cool, that, innit? What a positive way to end, man. That's sick, innit?
Yeah.
So thank you for, you know, the weird thing as well, it's not even like we could give let's give some positive advice. It's not like you can say go and get your heart checked, because we don't know. I mean, would you recommend that to everyone? I would.
Absolutely. If you're not, you know, you feel normal, and then all of a sudden you start feeling something's not quite right, or you're really under the weather and you've no energy, whatever, just go to the doctors. Honestly, because like now, because of what's happened to Kyle, they're taking these steps now to make sure that I'm not going the same way, because you know, like we said before, tomorrow's never promised. And you know, after losing Kyle, you've got to live every day as it's your last, and have no regrets.
We've been to some fun events, haven't we?
Oh,
and stuff.
God, yeah.
Well, for the viewers, I call her my mum. She's my second mum goose.
Yeah.
So go and get your hearts checked, and make sure. What was that? Tomorrow's never promised.
Tomorrow is never promised.
So make sure you have a good life.
Yeah. Live your best life.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I think you're very brave, lady. And thank you for coming on, because it's.
And just so everyone knows, I didn't ask you, because my mum rang me and went, "Why have you not asked Lainey yet to come on?" I went, and this is my response. I went, Lainey wants to come on already. I went, nah, I don't want to ask her. She went, nah, she said she's ready. And then now you're hearing it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't ask
because even though obviously Kyle was my firstborn and he was my best friend, he was a shitbag as well, but he was mine.
Yeah.
And in the way that he passed away, it's just made me realise that you've got to live for now. I mean, since I lost Kyle, I lost my mum on Boxing Day, and I lost my ex-mother-in-law a couple of weeks ago, which is Bailey's other nan.
Yeah.
So Bailey's lost 2 nans and his brother in like 14 months, and you just never know what's around that corner. And you've got to live. You've just got to do. It's like me. I want to get a camper van.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm gonna go. I've told Carl, said I'm going. And he went, you go, and I'm gonna get in that van. I'm gonna go down Devon and Cornwall, which I want to do.
Yeah, and enjoy
yourself.
And
just enjoy it, because, like you say, you never know what tomorrow brings.
Do you get enough support now then, Lainey? Still, like,
my support.
How are you?
I think I'm just in automatic mode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on TikTok and I've done some videos myself, and there's one of them that I did, and I was talking and then I just burst into tears, and it was because, I've just lost this beautiful person that everybody loved and liked, your best mate.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost like I've detached myself from it at the moment, because I've had other things going on.
Because you have dealt with it so well.
I wouldn't say I've dealt with it well. For some reason, it just feels like I'm here, but I'm there, and I'm just, just carrying on.
You're strong.
I don't feel strong, because there's many a times I'll be sat in bed and like I've got Kyle's pictures in my room, and I've got his ashes next to me. I've got his ashes in a heart and everything.
You're gonna smash my window in soon. He's in my car. And every time I go over a speed bump, it goes. I keep saying to myself,
again, I tell you, that's him. He's winding you up.
Yeah.
I keep saying to myself, is he saying, I'm going to smash this window? Will you please tie me up?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I believe in stuff like that massively, mate.
I do.
I believe in it.
But it's like when he was a baby. I used to sing "You Are My Sunshine." And so I started seeing sunflowers everywhere.
Yeah.
And to me, that was his way, because I went to Devon last year with my mum, bless her, before she passed away. And wherever I went, there were sunflowers there, and I thought, he's with me here.
Yeah.
And
that was my song as well when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's just so some days I do feel strong. I can do anything.
Yeah.
And then on my quiet times when I'm alone, that's when I'll break down and have a cry and think, God, I'm never going to see him again. I'm never going to hear him again. I mean, I've still got all his voice notes to me, and when I look now, I can actually look at him and think he was just a funny guy.
I played some of his back.
It is still very raw, isn't it? It's just over a year now, isn't it?
But I mean, the video that the compilation that Byron put together for Kyle's celebration of life.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was just fantastic.
Cried my eyes
out. Oh God, yeah. I've still got that on my phone. I paid. I think it was about £100 to have Kyle's funeral live stream for people that couldn't go, like my brother in Australia. But I also had it as a download, so I've always got it. And no matter how many times I watch it, I always see something different. Because when I didn't want the curtains closing around him, because to me that's too final. So we left it open and people could go and say bye to him. But we locked everybody in, because I went out and I just lost it, and I thought
we escaped, didn't we?
Yeah. So they closed everybody in and left them there for about 10 minutes, and you can just see people just standing around thinking, what the fuck's going on here? But it's because I'd actually had a mental breakdown outside. I don't remember leaving the crematorium to go to his celebration, and I don't remember going home. But was it with you that same night and I was on trampoline? Or was it with Dan?
No, it was you. I mean, I come round, she fell asleep on trampoline outside.
Yeah, front garden. I was just mentally exhausted. Exhausted. I'd had a drink, and I don't really drink, but I needed one that day.
Yeah. Bless you.
But yeah,
I'm laughing because I fell asleep on a trampoline before.
Oh,
not for that, because I just got drunk too much.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best night sleeps I've ever had.
Yeah, but this one's a child's mini trampoline,
Oh,
so I
yeah,
only got my arse on it.
and her legs are out.
Yeah.
So
Just
it
like
should
that.
look comfy.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to kind of like recap, I think we should end. Have you got what's a good memory of Kyle, or the way you describe Kyle?
God, good memory. There's too many. He's just. I even I've had dreams about him and all sorts, like carrying Rocco. For me, I'm not going to choose a good memory. I'm going to choose how we exist. And one of the best parts of my entire existence of my life was COVID and lockdown, being locked up with my best mate.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love that.
But with that, because you was doing videos and stuff, everybody was tuning in to watch you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, weird. We had like a little fan base. Like, you've not done a video today. We're like, yeah, we were knackered today.
Yeah.
Oh, I got up especially to watch it. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose COVID.
And you, Lenny, what's a fond memory or something?
Fond memory. I think there's too many, but I think the day that he was born,
Yeah.
because I just turned 18 when I had him.
Wow.
And he was just he's been a fighter since day one. So I don't know if you've seen the picture. I've got him where he's a baby, 1 day old, and he's got his fists up like that.
Can we have that, because we'll plug it,
Yeah.
plug that, can't we? We'll
that and him. I think it was on maybe when he got this one, but he had white gloves on, and I put the two pictures together. Had his fists up from day one. So
just for the viewers as well, he was a white collar boxing champion, wasn't he?
He was,
Kyle?
yeah.
So did he obviously won a
Twice.
few fight right? So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right. So
That's,
he's
actually, that's the
unbeaten.
real
That's
belt.
the real
That's the real
belt.
belt.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah,
I
real
love that.
belt.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right, so we've had our fondest memory. And we've had make sure you get your hearts checked. And
Yeah,
tomorrow's
definitely.
not promised. We've
Yep.
got 20 different things. What are you saying? What should people do? In regards to friends,
I think you should always look out for each other for one. But I think with Lainey mentioning her father, I think it's always good to know history and
definitely.
and people, the history of.
See, with my dad, with my
definitely.
dad, he was adopted when he was a baby, so we don't know the history if there was anything passed down.
Yeah.
sometimes it skips, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It skips like a generation kind of thing. Yeah.
So, and I think because, like I said before, because they didn't find any heart disease, it was normal size and everything. That's why they put it down.
Yeah.
So the sudden adult death syndrome, and it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
No matter how fit and healthy you are, or you're a couch potato, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So.
So get checked. Look after your friends. Thank you for tuning
Absolutely.
in. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank
See you next time, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.